It's showtime.
Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo. We're your hosts, Tim
And LJ. Today and every week we will be discussing musicals, but specifically what they taught us. EP's mouthing along there. I think we've said this one too many times.
Some week we should just go part-time and he could do all those wee bits, to be fair.
Aye, it's a bit much, isn't it?
Yeah, just let him do the
Get our understudies in to do that.
Outs, aye.
Do I look like a swing?
He's learning.
Well done.
What is a swing?
Thank you for your question, Aaron. A swing is. I like it when that happens. It makes us feel like proper experienced and intelligent.
That's what I was going to say. I like it when he asks us a question and we know the answer and we can give a really good answer.
Because let's be honest, the majority of the time we don't really come across very intelligent. And I would like to think we're intelligent people.
That's the thing, we are. And I know a lot of people listen to our musical week on each week, okay? And they shout at their device, how did you not know that? And as I keep reminding people, then we wouldn't have a podcast, okay?
Yeah. No, I just know that a lot of the people I know who listen just laugh at me saying really silly words like seismic. Aaron, over to you.
Seismic.
That's the one. Yeah. The problem is, the funny thing there is, I did a geography degree, so I should know what seismic activity is.
Oh, seismic?
Seismic. Which one is it? I'm so confused now. I don't even know what it's supposed to be. Seismic? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on really quickly. I just feel like my intelligence is getting less and less as the podcasts go on.
We have so much talent, so it has to push out the intelligence.
It's like that line in Matilda. How do your brains fit in there without squeezing out of your ears? That's what Lavender says to Matilda. I kind of see myself as Matilda. My brain's so big that it has to squeeze out that I just say silly things.
No, your talent is so big, so it has to squeeze out your intelligence.
It's even the way you went back to using a musical to justify what's going on. I think
we are pros.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, I think maybe you're allocating space to musicals that once was occupied by
common sense,
formal education and a bit of common sense. You're doing great. I love the show.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
As we've said before, Lauren, see, there was my mental delay. That video bit will be hilarious because you'll just see me going, as we've said before, if they did a degree in musical theatre, we'd be flying.
We would have come out with firsts.
Firsts. And some. Anyway.
Oh my God.
A couple of weeks ago, I gave you my best duck. Quack.
Yes.
Today, I'm giving you my best cat.
Oh my gosh.
Cats purr, don't they? Do they not?
Yes, they do.
Go on, you give us your best animal impression. Come on.
Like any animal?
Yeah, you go for it. What are you doing?
I'm a gnat.
It's my donkey. I have to say, I've been told that I'm quite good at... What on earth was that? I've been told I'm quite good at animal impressions.
I'm sorry, in the last episode we're not complaining about always ending up being a donkey. Given half an opportunity, you go straight for the donkey impression.
Just because it's one of the best when it comes to the animal impressions. I'm quite good at a cow too.
Oh.
It's good. Like,
Actually,
I know.
okay, if I had a new, but we were going to do animal impressions, I should have got my son.
Is he
does
really good?
an amazing pigeon where you think that the pigeon is beside you. It is so good. Get him to do it for you. No, that's actually putting it to shame. It is so good. I'm not very good at noises.
Well, listen, folks, that's listen, folks, that's all for this week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with normal services resume. Okay, that was a funny wee start to the podcast. Anyway, let's move on really quickly. We are talking
Yes.
Jellicle Cats.
Yep.
Yeah, we're talking about cats. Another one of Andrew Lloyd Webber's.
Yeah. This is an interesting one.
Some might
It's
say,
cats.
who would have imagined that a poetry collection with neither a plot nor a story would provide the inspiration for a story that would transform musical theatre forever? Cats took this genre to new levels of creativity and success. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Yes, Andrew Lloyd Webber as a child. What a fun childhood he had. He loved reading T.S. Eliot's Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats, a book of poetry by T.S. Eliot. And he decided, you know what I'm going to do with this book of poetry? I'm going to start setting Eliot's verse to music. And he did that in 1977.
How does that just come to your mind whenever reading poetry?
I mean, we've all sat in our bedroom a bit bored going, I wonder what I could do to...
Well, I suppose something needs to liven poetry up, so...
Now, hold the phone.
What?
Don't you give me that about poetry. Poetry is spectacular.
Some poetry is, and I love Sylvia Plath, and I love her poetry, and I am quite partial to the odd sonnet by Willie B. Willie B?
Well, that shows how much she knows, folks. Willie B, the famous playwright, and Willie B out there.
Willie Shakespeare.
Willie Shakespeare now.
And
Willie B.
don't know where
It's what he was known by at the weekends.
That's only by his close mates, is Willie B.
Willie B. It's Chamberlain Man. All right, Willie B, what are we doing today?
But whenever I did...
Will he be or not the be?
Well,
that's why he's here, folks.
So good.
Don't drop the mic, it'll make a noise.
I did English Lit at A level, and I really struggled to get through the poetry section. But it was Yeats, and it was, you know. But then some people love him. Yeah, I think you have to be in the right frame of mind for poetry too. I don't think I could go to like poetry readings. You know, people like really love them.
No, they do really cool things. Like, I mean, maybe Andrew Lloyd Webber was ahead of his time because they like do like cool poetry readings with like accompanying music and stuff. And like sometimes I have been to a poetry reading. I know you're shocked, aren't you? Like you would never. I'm so cultured. It's not even funny. Like I have culture like coming out of my pores.
Oozing out of you.
Oozing out of me.
Last week it's football, this week it's poetry.
I know, I am eclectic. Like,
I know. Surprise us all.
Everybody should hang around with me. Just like,
hang around with me.
Yeah. And to be honest, with T.S. Eliot, like his Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats is good. Like his wee poems about cats are good. I do them with my class.
Oh, do you?
Every year, yeah. We focus in on one in particular, McCavity, and we rewrite our own verse and stuff like that. But the kids do love them.
Rewrite them.
No, we take a good model text. Don't you start with me.
No, yeah. This is really interesting because poetry isn't for everybody.
Yes.
So putting music to it isn't going to excite everybody.
No, but then musicals aren't for everybody either.
Exactly. Musicals aren't for everybody.
Why not? I don't understand.
But this musical seemed to be for everybody whenever it was first put on.
blows my mind.
I don't understand.
By the summer of 1980, Andrew Lloyd Webber was ready to perform some of these songs that he had said
ready.
to Elliot. I am ready. I know what I will do. I shall perform them.
Get my dressing gown.
In the special Sidmonton Festival, which, as far as I'm aware, was like a festival that he would have done every year on the grounds of his rather large family house that had its own like theatre or chapel down the back of the garden. I think that's what that Sidmonton Festival was. I might be wrong. But at this point, he was still only thinking of it as a project for maybe possible like a television concert anthology. Like there was no thought of production, show,
staging,
nothing. Elliot's widow actually attended one of the performances, and with her she brought several unpublished pieces to offer Andrew Lloyd Webber, and it was actually this new material, particularly Grisabella the Glamour Cat, that made him reconsider the project as a possible stage production. Mm-hmm. It's amazing that wasn't actually in the original work.
No, because he felt that it was a wee bit too doom and gloom for the book. So that's why it wasn't included.
T.S. Eliot?
Yes, T.S. Eliot, yeah.
Okay, but as we know, lovers of musical theatre, Grisabella is like the central P.
Yeah, her song.
Yeah, even her character.
Well, yeah.
Let's be honest, the show's about her, isn't it? Andrew Lloyd Webber enlisted renowned British theatre director Trevor Nunn as collaborator to help shape the show. It took 6 long months to persuade Nunn before Andrew Lloyd Webber finally got his man.
Yeah, it was Cameron McIntosh who came on board first, and then he recruited Trevor Nunn. It was with his help. And then,
however, producer after producer turned down the idea of this as a show until young Cameron McIntosh, the whippersnapper that he was, a young impresario, he kind of said okay after.
Yeah, and this was the beginning of their partnership, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah. The juggernaut that became McIntosh Andrew Lloyd Webber collab. And
then we had choreographer Gillian Lynn. Mm-hmm. And this to turn the Andrew Lloyd Webber compositions into the complete musical. So it was, the fact that these 3 people were now on board.
Yeah, absolutely. None realised the importance that it would need to be a spectacle. Mm-hmm. And he put together an incredible team. He got Gillian Lynn on board as choreographer, John Napier for set and costume design, and then the lighting designer David Hersey.
Yeah.
And I actually think, unlike last week when we were saying, really, it is the music of Jesus Christ Superstar that is...
Yeah, number one.
Is what has made Jesus Christ Superstar so fantastic. I actually think it's Gillian Lynn's choreography and Trevor Nunn's direction and vision that made Cats the success it was. I'm not overly sure it was the music to start with. I don't think
without all of the visual aspects would Cats have been as popular. In saying that, though, I'll just go into it now. The reason that it became so popular, especially in Broadway, was there was very limited shows on at that time that families could take their kids to go and see. Even though it is quite raunchy, some of the dancing.
They're on leotards, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was, I think one of the other musicals on was something about like women, quite provocative women or something, and you weren't going to take your children to go and see that, so the only other option was Cats.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, there was no real competition out there.
Yeah, okay.
For it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I do think that the choreography really did lend itself to be what it is today.
Visually it was a spectacle, wasn't it? But I think Nunn has to take so much credit, because it was actually him who suggested framing the story around an outsider who is finally accepted by her fellow felines. That idea of Grisabella being, ostracised and shunned by the rest of the cats. Yeah. It was him that put that team together, and it was Nunn, after several tries by other lyricists who came up with the words to the only number in Cats not to be set to T.S. Eliot's poems. Mm-hmm. And it turns out it's the show's most famous song, Memory. Mm-hmm. Now, none did use some lines from T.S. Eliot's poem, The Rhapsody of a Windy Night.
Okay.
But I didn't know until researching for this podcast episode that it was actually Trevor Nunn who wrote the lyrics to Memory.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of done, this show was kind of done, obviously, because he was using the poems of T.S. Eliot. It was done without a lyricist.
Yeah, it was. So it was, but Trevor was struggling also with the script, and he got help from Richard Stilgoe, who did Starlight and Phantom.
Starlight Express.
They also did bring in Tim Rice to try and help.
Did they?
And
nothing clicked.
This is what caused the fallout between Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber. It was Trevor Nunn and Rice not agreeing, and then Andrew Lloyd Webber fell out with Rice. So I think this is why, from literally Cats onwards, where that partnership went sour. And then Andrew Lloyd Webber, because Cats was so popular, there was really good PR behind him.
Yeah. And
all of his stuff was pushed forward, and that's why we probably didn't know Tim in the way that we should have.
And was that what you were referring to in the last episode?
Yes.
Right, okay, very good.
It was.
Oh, the drama. Mm-hmm. It's so not just on stage, is it?
No, so all around that, trying to get that 11 o'clock song caused that big fallout.
I mean, was it worth the fallout? Probably. It's Memory, isn't it?
I know.
Touch me! Yeah, I started too high there. That was not good. So, by spring 1981, rehearsals had begun for the London opening. Judi Dench, the lovely Judy.
Yes.
Anyone who doesn't know who she is, why not? She's a British actor, mainly known at the time for her work in Shakespearean, Willie B. Mm-hmm. Shakespearean roles. She was actually to play the pivotal character of Grisabella, the glamour cut, but she snapped her Achilles tendon during rehearsals.
Yes, that was actually Trevor Nunn's stipulation, that he would only direct if Judi Dench was in the cast.
Good for you, Trevor Nunn.
And Andrew Lloyd Webber then only agreed because of her collective work that she had previously been in, and he knew that she would be able to handle that role. And she was, as you said, cast as Grisabella and Jenny Anydots.
Yes.
Wayne Sleep was also cast at the same time as Mr. Mistopheles.
And this was before Wayne Sleep then became the household name that he became.
Before he was the household name, but he had just finished the principal role in the Royal Ballet.
Yes.
So, people in that world definitely knew him. Then, as you said, Dench snapped her Achilles and had to pull out 1 week before previews.
And who did they bring in?
Elaine Page.
Our very own EP.
Very own. But only for Grisabella.
Yeah.
Mira Sands did Jenny Anydots. And actually, at the time, this whole show was plagued by illness, as we've just sort of mentioned, creative blocks, as we mentioned as well, and financial troubles.
Yeah. I mean, it's miraculous that it got on stage
I know.
Eventually.
Andrew Lloyd Webber had to take out a second mortgage on his house.
Oh my goodness.
And 220 individuals paid for the remaining capital from an advert in the newspaper.
Oh my
But these
goodness.
investors were estimated to have exceeded 3,500%. So they've made their money back.
Yes.
But
yes.
if it wasn't successful, it would have been absolute financial ruin for Andrew Lloyd Webber, and he would never have been able to recover.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's
so
mental when you think of that.
It's so crazy.
Oh my goodness.
So in London, it ran for 21 years.
Yeah, so on the 11th of May 1981, it opened in London in the New London Theatre. Is that now the Gillian Lynn Theatre?
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you said, its record run had started. How long did it run for?
Well, it ran for 21 years with 8,949 performances, and Broadway it ran for 18 years.
Yeah. That's it.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And it was the longest running in London until it was overtaken by another one of Cameron Mackintosh's mega busters, Les Mis.
Les Mis.
Yeah, and I think in Broadway it also was the longest running until Phantom.
That's right.
took over.
That's right.
Another one
And
of
as we
Andrew's.
mentioned in our Jesus Christ Superstar episode, which was what my hint was to this, was this overtook Jesus Christ Superstar.
Okay.
It was the Jellicle Cats took over.
Very good.
So it was long on them.
It subsequently has been presented in over 300 cities and more than 30 countries, translated into 15 different languages.
Mental.
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah. It wasn't merely a trend. It was actually the start of a musical theatre phenomenon.
Yeah, it paved the way for these mega musicals.
Yeah.
And many say that if Cats hadn't have happened, then we wouldn't have those Les Mis, Miss
Yeah.
Saigon, all
Yeah,
of those.
absolutely.
Because it was the first show to capitalise on merchandise,
Yeah.
which, like, it was only the 80s. You see what I just
Yeah.
feel? But then, very different time. We're very commercial now. We're all about merchandise and collecting stuff.
But
Maybe
then
back then
they
they
had
weren't.
the most incredible logo to
Interesting,
help them
yeah.
with their merchandise. Like, so anyone who doesn't know, the logo to Cats is a black background with just two cat's eyes, piercing eyes, like stunning logo. Like, so, like eye catch. Let's see what I did, ba-boom.
And I think because Cat's eyes obviously are like on the road, and that was how Cat's eyes became, was because somebody, isn't that the story? I just mean, like, people know Cat's eyes. Why are you looking at me weird? I hate this whenever I say
this is Aaron
something.
looking at her weird. I'm just listening on, as I always do.
People recognise Cat's eyes. That's what I'm trying to say.
So Cat's eyes on the road comes from Cat's eyes, because you can see Cat's
Yeah, it
eyes
was
in the
somebody
dark.
was driving down the road at night, and his lights
reflected off the cat's eyes.
So then he created the Cat's eyes on the road.
Clever man. Very good.
See, he didn't know that, so I had to go into that story, all right?
Because I'm thick, as we all know, from previous episodes. Also, Dad has told me a really cool story. Him and Mum took me to see Cats in the New London Theatre, but I was really young, like really, really young. I don't remember it at all, which is so sad that I don't remember it. But he said that the beginning was so creepy because in their seats, they had built into the back of the seats in front of them cat's eyes that lit up. So during the overture or the prologue bit, like the cat's eyes just lit up in front of them, and like it startled like the audience.
My goodness.
And then the next thing, you had it like a cat right beside you, like one of the performers, because they came through the auditorium onto the stage.
Oh,
And I was like, okay, that's a lot of sensory going on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But clever,
Yeah,
really cool.
very clever.
Imagine like sitting and just like cat's eyes appearing in front of you.
Yeah, that would be a bit weird.
Yeah, but clever design. Very good. The show won 2 Olivier Awards, Musical of the Year and Achievement of the Year in a Musical Choreography for Gillian Lynn. It's interesting how they've changed the name of the awards as the years have gone
Isn't
by.
it? Yeah, I noticed that too.
Musical of the Year.
Yeah.
Achievement of the Year in Musical Choreography. Then 1983 Broadway production won 7 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, Best Book, Best Score, Best Featured Actress for Betty Buckley, who played Grisabella, Costume Design, Lighting Design, and Best Direction for Trevor Nunn. So, very successful. Go figure. I'm like going, how has this been? How?
And it's not an easy one to follow.
Oh my goodness. The first time I watched it, I've never taken drugs in my life, but truly, I was like, is this what it's like to be on acid? Like, is this what it's like? I was having an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it. Now, there was a pro shot done in 1998. If it is a pro shot. People say it's like a reenactment, but it was a pro shot. And me and my sister were obsessed with that.
So was I.
And I think because it was probably the first time a musical was on video or DVD.
But were you obsessed with it, but you didn't understand what the heck was going on?
Didn't understand it at all. And would have only like skipped to the songs that I knew.
Okay, yeah.
And things like that. So I was, for this research, watching that because we're not going to mention the 2019 film.
Oh, we so are. Oh my goodness, that is our
We'll go on to that.
That's our coup de grace.
So I was, and Aaron was in the room, and he just kept going, "What is this about? What is this? What is this about?
Yeah.
I don't understand." And I was like, I can't explain it. Like, I was like, I'm not going to tell you because you're going to be in the episode, so you're going to learn stuff. But that's exactly... He said exactly what I was thinking back in 1998. 100%. I do understand. What is this?
That's it. And I do remember like watching that VHS as it was back in the day, like over and over and over again. Basically, like any musical VHS I had, and not really understanding the plot or the storyline at all. And then seeing it as an adult, I'm like, no, but this is so weird
odd
and bizarre. So why anybody ever thought it was a good idea for a film, especially in today's, in today's times, like I have no idea what Universal were thinking. But anyway, we'll get on to that later. Shall we do our musical lyrical lingos?
Yes.
Lyrically, very highbrow. I think it's probably back to the poetry roots, isn't it?
I think that's
big words, lots of big words.
Yeah, and they're placed for a reason because obviously it's poetry and syllables and all that matter. But Jellicle, if we go to the first word,
Jellicle Cats.
Jellicle Cats is
Do you have a Jellicle Ball?
Jellicle is sped up, dear little. So that's where Jellicle
really?
comes from.
I thought it was just a made up word.
No, it's dear little. Is
Dear little cats in dear little.
So it was just T.S. Eliot.
Balls.
Whenever he had this real passion for cats, and he would call them like dear littles, and then that just turned into Jellicle.
Okay. In Jellicle song for Jellicle Cats, they sing, "Are you lean like a lynx?" And I didn't know what a lynx was, apart from lynx, as in that you spray under your pits. I can't be having Africa Lynx. That's the worst thing anybody could ever buy for me.
Is it because you sprayed so much of it whenever you were a teenager?
I just smell like school changing rooms, mixture of Africa Lynx and BO. It's disgusting. And boys that just didn't wash and thought they could mask it by spraying Africa Lynx. And I was like, you still stink. Nice. Anyway, a lynx, Lynx, actually is a wildcat with yellowish brown fur, sometimes spotted, short-tailed, tuft ears, found in northern latitudes of North America. You knew that, did you? That. Yeah. Fantastic. How did you know that?
I don't know, just one of those things that I knew.
National Geographic.
Probably.
Okay, fair enough.
It's funny that the lynx is found in North America, but the lynx deodorant that you were just referring to is called Axe in America.
What?
It's called Axe in America.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Lynx Africa. I thought you were going to do a joke like that.
Nope.
Okay.
So yes, as well as meaning dear little, or
at least he's woken up. We sat there with his feet up for the last 10 minutes.
So Jellicle is a reborn into new cat heaven. It's a fictional type of feline that T.S. Eliot did make up. Yeah. I mean, but like everybody knows Jellicle Cats now, so isn't that lovely? I'd love to make something up and people go, "Oh, that was Lauren McNeil."
He also mentions quite a few composers in that first Jellicle songs for Jellicle Cats. He mentions duets by Rossini, waltzes by Strauss.
That's right.
I like this next lyric because it's very clever. It says handling pieces from the Messiah, but the Messiah was written by Handel. Clever, right?
Very good.
I was like,
okay.
Take a boy.
That was clever. Well, yeah, Rossini was Gioacchino Rossini. He was an Italian composer and he was famous for 39 operas.
Yeah.
Like I looked at them, I didn't.
You're not an opera girl, are you?
So they didn't look familiar to me. And then Waltzes by Strauss was Richard Strauss and he was a composer.
Yeah, Strauss waltzes are nice.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to all these adjectives?
Yeah, they also mention alumnus of heaven and hell, and alumnus means a graduate or former student.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Yeah.
So you've got T.S. Eliot describing these cats.
Yes.
Practical cats, dramatical cats, pragmatical cats, fanatical cats, oratorical cats, deprecorical cats, septical cats, deceptical cats, romantical cats, pedantical cats.
Yes, pedantical.
I just couldn't read my writing. Critical cats, parasitical cats, allegorical cats, metaphorical cats, statistical cats, and mystical cats, political cats, hypocritical cats, clerical cats, hysterical cats, cynical cats, rabbinatical cats.
And you see, this is where Timothy's book is much better than mine, because I just wrote Aaron, get up lyrics.
We all know who is committed to the cause. I sat for 4 hours and wrote every single one of those words that I've just said out in my wee notebook.
I was like, Aaron can do some work.
And you said,
Aaron, get up lyrics.
You put a note. Aaron, get up lyrics.
So
there's
out
a
of
few
those,
in there. Which ones did you not know? And I'll tell you which ones I didn't
well, first
know.
of all, I was going to ask you, which one out of those cats do you think you are?
Oh, no. Can I pick my top 3?
Yeah, go for it.
Dramatical.
Obviously.
I would love to think I'm mystical.
Oh.
I'm quite hysterical at times. But I think I'm pragmatical as well.
Yeah, that was lovely.
Would you agree with that?
I would say we're
Romantical?
I would say we're both hypercritical.
Hypercritical cats, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah,
What are you?
Dramatical, hypercritical, and pedantic in some things, but not in a lot. Skeptical, maybe.
Oh, God, I've just said, I think I'm cynical.
Oh.
Cynical cat.
No.
I should probably have, as a forenote, just said I can't stand cats.
Oh, yeah, no, me either.
We didn't. We probably should have started with that.
No, it's not that I can't stand it.
Oh, I can't.
I can't listen to it. So.
Oh no, I'm talking about the animal cats.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Oh no, I don't like cats.
No, I'm a dog person.
Yeah. And even saying that,
You're
just
not,
about a dog person.
I'm a dog
not an
person,
animal
but
person,
I don't
really.
think I'll ever own my own dog.
Yeah, if you have to choose one, you're either a cat person or a dog person.
Yeah. I'm also allergic.
You're allergic to cats?
Yeah, there was a famous after-show party where we went down and we sat outside and had like a nice sweet chimney. And the blankets came out and it was lovely. And I started getting a wee bit coffee and a wee bit itchy. I just thought it was the smoke from the chimney until I came into the house to go to the toilet and my face had blown up like Elephant Man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think I have a picture. Well, I'll get a picture and you can put it out in the socials.
Oh my goodness.
That's the reaction I have to Cats the musical.
Oh my goodness. Love it.
Anyway,
yeah.
So some of these words, were there any that you didn't really understand?
Okay, I definitely didn't understand what Delphic Oracle was.
So Delphic Oracle is most famous ancient oracle believed to deliver prophecies from the Greek god Apollo.
Oh. Yeah, so Delphi, as in, was that not a god?
No, I think Delphi's a location.
Oh, okay. I thought Delphi was a god. Delphi.
Yeah, no, maybe not. I don't know.
Okay, never mind.
A town in Greece.
A town in Greece? Okay. There you go.
Oratorical is relating to the art of public speaking.
Oh.
Yeah. Didn't know that.
As in a good orator.
Yes.
And any other ones you didn't know?
I mean, there were a few more, but we'd be here all day.
Oh, no.
If we were to do all the ones I didn't understand.
Also, whenever you look at that, that's a real tongue twister for people listening.
Yeah, I like that one. Dyspeptical. Dyspeptica. I'm just spelling it out just in case I didn't say it properly. That's actually an old-fashioned word for irritable person.
Oh.
So I thought that was a good one.
I'm quite irritable.
That's me.
That's Aaron.
That you are irritable or you're irritated by others?
Oh, yeah. You're you're not irritable. You are annoyed by irritable people or you're an irritable person?
Bit of both.
Couldn't possibly comment.
That annoys me.
Anyway, Any others from Jellicle songs for Jellicle Cats?
No,
Okay.
I'm good.
The naming of cats.
Yeah, that's a long one.
His ineffable, ineffable, deep and inscrutable singular name. Honestly, TSI it. You're having a laugh.
No, it's a bit
So,
much.
ineffable is not being able to describe in words. But the ineffable, which is one word, is actually just a word that TSI made up and nobody has any idea what it means.
Yeah, like, I think I sound out there.
I know, it's confused. No, well, because he says
No, I know.
ineffable
Yeah.
and then effable, and then he almost like glues the two together. But
Ineffable,
that
effable,
word, that
It's-
third word where he's glued it together is a nonsense word. It's made up.
Well, he just was very good at making words up.
Yeah, very good at making words that we can't actually say.
I have Old Deuteronomy.
Old Deuteronomy lived a long time. He's a cat who has had many lives in succession.
Yes, and he says, and his numerous progeny prospers and thrives. So I wrote it out phonetically and I still can't even say it. Progeny? Yep, is a descendant.
Yep.
Yeah. So see,
Yep.
progeny.
Oh, I see your wee...
I know, see my wee note to self.
Yeah. Phonetical. It worked, didn't it? It really
It
helped.
did, yeah. It means a descendant.
Jellicle Ball,
Yep.
the big dance number that is, where all the cats come out and kick their legs really high. We're quiet enough in the morning hours, we're quiet enough in the afternoon, reserving our terpsichorean powers. Dance by the light of the Jellicle moon. Dance by the light of the Jellicle moon. Terpsichorean.
Yeah, that was my word too, and I'm so glad you said that.
I did well there with that, didn't I?
You did, very good.
Yeah.
That just means dancing.
Yeah, relating to dance. In Greek mythology, Terpsichore is one of the 9 muses and goddesses of dance and chorus.
Wow.
So that's the origin of it.
Yeah. It's a big word.
Smart. I do feel smart again.
Yeah, go you. Well done.
They sing, we make our toilette and take our repose.
That was my line.
It's one of my favourite lines. But I always thought repose was your doo-doo.
So did I. Cause
Yes, I'm so glad.
But I always sang it as make our toilet, like toys,
Oh,
instead of toilet.
Oh, toilette. I'm just a bit posher than you. We make our toilette.
No, I was
and
like,
take our repose.
we make our toilet, like toy.
Okay.
But again, that's
Not
where I just
quite.
misheard lyrics.
So yeah, well, I knew the toilette bit is toilet, but I
Toilet.
thought the repose meant your.
Yeah.
But actually, repose is a state of rest, sleep, or tranquility.
Oh, so go to the toilet and then have a wee sleep.
Chill.
Mm.
And we'll move on quickly.
Yeah.
We will practice a caper or 2 in the hall.
Yes.
What's a caper?
Well, capers are those things I don't like that my mum put in my food sometimes.
Or a skip or a dance.
Okay.
Or to skip or dance about
Okay.
in a lively way. I know what you mean. I know what capers you're talking
Yeah.
about. But the caper and the
Different
poem was...
thing.
Yeah. Shall we move on to some other cats?
Yeah.
Because there's many to choose from.
That's the other thing.
Who are you picking?
Well, I'm going to go for Gus the theatre cat.
Gus the theatre cat.
And he mentions his line of work where he even understudied the cat in Dick Whittington.
Yes.
Oh, so cute.
I do like Gus the theatre cat.
Yeah, I do too. And he mentions Fiend of the Fell,
Yes.
which is this big part.
Mm-hmm.
So I just looked up Fiend of the Fell, and it's a reference to the legendary creature that is in the lines of the Hound of the Baskerville legends. So is the Hound of the Baskerville is Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that right? Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Right, okay.
Yeah, and when Gus the theatre cat is going on, there is like a little like scary creature that comes out behind, and that's just what that's referring to.
But they also, some of the cats in that number, this all makes sense now, some of the cats in that number, like wear like the old Sherlock, like caps
Okay.
So I now understand why they made that costume choice.
There you go.
That's really cool.
There you go.
He sings. He has acted with Irving. He has acted with Tree. Tree. Irving was Henry Irving.
Okay.
A renowned stage actor and theatre manager, and Tree was Herbert Beerbon. Tree, and also a renowned actor, theatre manager, and founder of RADA. Royal Academy of the Dramatic Arts.
Lovely.
And
Lovely
I know
nod.
I will have definitely mispronounced his middle name there, so apologies to Herbert. I have sat by the bedside of poor little Nell.
Mm-hmm.
So in the theatre, Gus the Theatre Cat, they're going through all of his different stage credits. Little Nell was the main character in Charles Dickens' The Old Curiosity Shop.
Yeah.
Did you know that book?
I knew that book. I knew a character now, so I assumed that's what it was.
But I didn't do English lit, did I? Yeah. And then if someone will give him a toothful of gin, he will tell how he once played a part in East Lynne.
Yeah.
And East Lynne was a melodrama popular in the mid to late 19th century. Did you know that one too?
I did know that one.
See, I missed out. I should have done English literature, shouldn't I?
Well, I also know that from a degree.
Maybe I shouldn't. I think I made the right choice there, not doing it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be quite up for English lit somehow. Any other cats you want to discuss?
No, I'm good for them.
I've got a few for wee Gumby Cat.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I like Gumby Cat.
Okay.
Because she's a wee Gumby Cat, but then she does a wee tap dance. And I love a tap dance. Yeah. So when she has got them lined up on the matting, she teaches them music, crocheting and...
tattling?
So I always thought, misheard lyric, tapping, because then she goes into tapping.
Okay.
No, tatting. Tatting. The craft of making lace with loops and knots.
Yeah.
Used chiefly for trimming, but I thought it was tapping.
Yeah. Well, it would make more sense, wouldn't it, if it was?
And she even created a Beatles tattoo.
Oh, what's a Beatles tattoo?
An evening drum or bugle signal recalling soldiers to their quarters.
Oh.
Hence Edinburgh Tattoo every year.
Ah, the tattoo festival.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, there's some cats that I really enjoy. Some of the songs. So I love Mr. Mistopheles.
Yeah.
No, I didn't really learn anything from it, but I love that song. Mungo, Jerry, and a Rumpelteazer have a wonderful way of working together.
But that must have had a rewrite at some point. Because there's been some production or some cast recordings where you hear one version of that song, and then there's other, like, I think it was rewritten for more
Oh, really?
Yeah. Go back and listen to like maybe the first cast recording, and then listen to maybe a more
recent,
not even more recent, like it's still like years ago, but it definitely had a rewrite at one point because I do like that song, and then I had it on in the car, and when it came to it, I went, that is not the melody nor the words.
Oh,
yeah. So I don't know. At some point, it's had a wee shift. I do like Bustopher Jones.
Okay.
Bustopher Jones is not skin and bones. In fact, he's remarkably fat.
Oh,
I know. He's the cat we all greet as he walks down the street in his coat of, love this word, fastidious black. Just means scrumptious.
Oh, I thought that meant very. Okay, scrumptious, lovely.
Fastidious, scrumptious, very black. Yeah, there we go. In the whole of St. James, the smartest of names is the name of this Brummel of cats.
Okay.
Still about Bustopher Jones. It references Beau Brummel.
Oh, like Beau from
Annie, isn't it?
Annie,
yeah. An Englishman who set the fashion for men's clothes.
Yeah.
An extremely or excessively well-dressed man, often called a fop or a dandy.
From You're Never Fully Dressed, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
In Mungo and Jerry and Rumpelteazer, do you know what the Woolworth pearls were? I just thought they were pearls from Woolworths. But actually they're white pearls. I was like, oh, pearls from Woolworths. Do you remember we used to go there every Saturday on our lunch? First Sweets, the
Not
best
pearls.
pick-a-mix in the world, and then they closed them down for any UK listeners.
It certainly wasn't because they were losing profits, because we spent all our money in there.
Yeah, that's very... I mean, the majority of our lunch money went on in pick-a-mix, didn't it? And then we wondered why we felt a bit sick when we went back and tapped our brains out.
What about McCavity?
McCavity, I know inside out, back to front, because it's what I do with the kids. What about you and McCavity?
Oh, no, I
you
love
had
it. Yeah. In connections and stuff will go, but I love, I just love that melody. McCavity.
McCavity, there's no one like McCavity. You were saying it's quite sexy in places. That's a sexy number.
And so is Rum Tum Tugger. I always get that wrong. It's Rum Tum, isn't it?
Rum Tum Tugger, yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's Rum Tum Tugger. I always thought it was Rum Tum Tiger.
Oh, okay. It's Growl Tiger, isn't it?
Is that?
Later on.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's where I get
the bit
confused.
where I go, okay, this is really like gone into new stratospheres of LSD.
Yeah.
I'm like,
absolutely.
This has actually gone...
You're too far.
Too far. Like,
too
totally
far.
crazy. Yeah. Yeah, any others?
No, that's it.
I think I do have a few more, but I'm boring myself, to be fair.
Okay, it's a lot. It's very long, and
I think just because it's based on poetry and poems, and we know, vocabulary is like pretty important. There's just a lot of content.
Yeah.
To be fair to Andrew Lloyd Webber, he deserves a bit of kudos for being able to fit music to those wordy poems, like.
Yeah.
In tunes that are recognisable and you can, like, sing back.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Rum Tum Tugger is a curious cat.
Give me a house, I want to have a flat. Bum, bum, bum.
If you offer me pheasant, I'd rather have grouse.
Oh.
I didn't know what grouse was.
Oh, did you not?
Yeah, just another bit of poultry there,
it was, yeah. Just another wee bird.
And then, on the larder shelf. The larder. Didn't know what a larder was until realised.
Oh.
I just couldn't remember the beginning of that line. So that's why I did a bit. If in doubt.
Screech.
It out.
Yeah.
I like Mr. Mistopheles. He's cool. Yeah.
Hey, no, never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
Boom, boom, boom.
We're doing good.
We are good. There's our musical lyrical lingos.
Yeah, I want to talk about the 1998 Pro Shot, which we mentioned a little bit about. So Elaine Page...
And then I want to talk about the 2019 film.
So Elaine Page came back for Grisabella.
Grisabella,
and it's so dramatic.
I love that bit. Grisabella.
John Mills played Gus, the theatre cat, and that is Hayley Mills' dad, and he was a famous... Did you not know that? Are you looking at me like brand new information?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Hayley Mills' dad.
Oh, okay.
John Partridge was Rum Tum Tugger.
Meow.
And Ken Page played Old Deuteronomy, and he's most famous for playing Oogie Boogie in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Don't know that reference. Don't watch those films.
But also in that, we were bought it. Me and my sister were bought it, and we're obsessed with it. We tried to be Victoria, the cat, even though none of us...
She was McCavity. She sang McCavity, didn't she?
Yeah.
No.
No, she's the white one.
Oh,
and
Victoria.
We have absolutely no flexibility. We cannot lift our legs.
I'd love to see. Please get up and can we film that, Aaron?
No.
Like, turn that camera around.
No.
Right, go into the living room and let me see your bit. You're wearing white. No,
No.
please show me your white cat.
No, because it would turn into a ball of wool. Like it just... No, like absolutely not.
A cat would need put down.
It's terrible.
That's awful.
My sister and I did think that we were her. Or we lifted our legs up and went straight down into the splits, even though neither of us could do the splits.
And then did you need a crane to get you out of the splits?
I think we just did like the jazz splits, and we're like, we're really elegant. Yeah, really. Anyway, but we loved that because in 1997, you were in it too. We were in a pantomime, Jack and the Beanstalk. So that was the last pantomime, Christmas pantomime I did, but it was the first one that my sister did.
Is that the one with Sue Pollard?
It was.
Yeah.
But the choreographer of that was Jeffrey Garrett.
That's right.
And he played Shimbleshanks in that pro shot. So
That's
we
right.
used to just watch that bit all the
Yeah,
time.
that's right.
Because we were like, we know him.
we know someone famous.
We're famous
Yeah,
by association.
very good. You know, like that pro shot is enjoyable enough.
That pro shot is watchable.
Yeah.
I think it would take a really strong-willed person to watch that from start to finish because it's a lot.
I'd say a bottle of wine in us, we could get through it. You'd be doing your white cat in the
I was
living room
certainly
then,
would be
wouldn't you?
doing my white cat then. I'd be going, I can do it. See, I look
I'd be
just
giving
as
a Rum
elegant.
Tum Tugger. And there's no doing anything about it. With my furry collar up and like I like that bit when he shrugs his shoulders and his fur collar goes up.
Yeah.
That's
So-
one for the video, folks.
The costumes are brilliant because it's real people. Obviously, it's real actors being cats, and they're using the choreography and their physicality, and they're able to portray cats. And then we have the 2019 film, which relied heavily on special effects, and it is diabolical.
It is literally the worst film I have ever seen. Now,
I don't understand the decisions because they're cats, but yet some of them have shoes on.
yeah,
Some of them you can see their human feet.
yeah.
At no point do cats' feet look like humans'
Yeah.
feet.
And do you know at one point they were going to have visible buttholes? And then they CGI'd them out.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Love the catchy tunes and insightful discussions on Musical Lyrical Lingo? Why would you not? Now you can reap your fandom. Ooh, we've got fans. And show off your love of all things musical theatre with our exclusive merchandise. Ooh.
From comfy tees,
T-shirts.
mugs to stylish tote bags, we have something for every fan. Our designs are inspired by the show's iconic themes
Because we are so iconic.
and featured playful quotes, alpha, and graphics that will have you humming along
I will never work again.
wherever you go.
So head over to our merch store now and start shopping. Spend your money, people. And don't forget to share your pics on our social media using hashtag podcast Musical Lyrical Lingo merch. We love to see our fans rocking our gear.
Yes, we do. Happy shopping. I don't understand. Whenever it shows you how successful the musical was on stage and people were
Yes.
able to see the costumes and the makeup
Yep.
and people believe that they were cats,
Yep.
why did we need CGI? Because they certainly do not look like cats
Nope.
and they don't move like cats. They don't sound like cats. They don't sound like singers. It's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the cast, it should have been really good. Yeah. So you've got Judi Dench. She came back to Cats. God bless her. I'm sure she regrets it. But this time is old Deuteronomy. And that's a highlight. That's
Yeah.
for me. That's the highlight of the film. The naming of cats, or no, not naming of cats, addressing
Oh, yes.
of cats. I think she does that beautifully. If they just hone in on her and forget about all the rest of it, she was told that she would look, after CGI, she would look like glitzy and lovely. And when she saw it, she said that she just looked like a ruffled rag
Pigeon?
bag. Yeah, awful.
It's terrible.
You've got, Jennifer Hudson there who played Grisabella. Now, that's another highlight. Her memory is brilliant. Her performance of memory is good. You can't say it's not.
No, it is good, but you have to close your eyes to appreciate
Yeah, we
it.
have to close your eyes for the whole. Do you know what I was thinking when I was looking through this? So you've Judi Dench, you've got Jennifer Hudson, Ian McKellen played the theatre cat. If they were to do, as we now know, the thing to do at the moment seems to be these staged concerts
Yes.
of musicals. If they were to bring a staged concert of cats with the likes of Judi Dench and
Yeah.
Jennifer Hudson
Good idea.
and Sir Ian McKellen, it would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because their performances are brilliant, but as you say, CGI just crapped all over them. Here's what I think was the problem. The problem with the film was that Tom Cooper, the director, who prior to this had done Les Mis, which I also wasn't that enamoured with, he decided that he didn't want anybody involved anyone involved in the film who had been involved in the original show.
And this again,
there lies the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's one thing taking a source material and turning it into your own and creating it, but and making something new. But this just
it was awful.
It's just terrible.
Andrew Lloyd
put into
Webber
words.
actually wrote to the head of Universal a year before it was being made to say, you've got a car crash on your hands unless you get to grip with this thing. And he didn't even get a response from Universal.
What?
Andrew Lloyd Webber revealed the negative reaction even directly inspired him to adopt a dog.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so Andrew Lloyd Webber adopted a dog because of what the Cats 2019 film became. It received negative reviews from critics, mainly whom named it as one of the worst films of all time.
Well, I also heard that 2019 Cats happened and then we had COVID a few months later. People were that hateful about the whole thing that they were like, it caused COVID.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. It grossed $75 million US. However, it had a budget of $80 to $100 million to make the film. So it also lost a lot of money.
It's wild.
Yeah.
If you can't see the film, if you haven't seen the film and you want to have a glimpse at what we're talking about, there are a couple of those big numbers on YouTube.
Yeah.
I can't even make my way through half the numbers. Rum Tum Tugger is
Jason Derulo plays him, doesn't? Yeah.
And again, it's the same costume. They've taken a lot of inspiration for somebody that didn't want to have any involvement.
Yeah.
They've taken inspiration from the stage show, but it doesn't work on him.
I know.
Because he looks too tiny. The costume or the CGI is overpowering and it's just this tiny head. Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It just wasn't going to work. And as you say, the costume and the makeup and the wigs were so fantastic in the stage productions. I remember when I was working front of house at the theatre, and the UK tour of Cats came, and I think it stayed for 2 or 3 weeks. They did the same thing of the Cats coming through the audience at the beginning. So the audience are in, and we've got Act 1 beginners, and all of a sudden these actors start appearing front of house dressed as a cat. It was the most bizarre experience. And my goodness me, those costumes were left little to the imagination, let me tell you.
So the leotards were...
they were leotards.
Yeah.
But what amazed me was they dance like maniacs from start to finish.
Yeah.
And you see their faces? The face paint and the wigs.
On.
It did not move or shift one.
Wow.
And I'm like... I sweat like a demon. No matter how much setting spray I would use when I'm doing shows, I sweat like a demon. I went, leotards aren't the problem. I couldn't be in Cats because of the sweat. My face would be coming off me. I'd be half human, half cat by the end of the second number.
Well, speaking of being in Cats, do you remember being in Cats?
Oh my God. I think I know what's coming here, and I'll never forgive you for this.
Why?
Yes, we did do Cats.
We did Cats a number of times.
And it became a bit of a competition, didn't it? The costumes, who's going to come in with the most impressive costume.
So, first of all, I want to take us back to a couple of episodes ago where you were like, I've never worn a leotard. That was in the chorus line.
You see, when I said that and I went home and I was like, why did she react like that? I flippin' knew what was coming and I went, that.
So, we did it. And for a number of years, we did it because one year I sang Mr. Mistopheles with one person. One year I did McCavity.
Yeah.
And one year I did like Mungo Jerry.
Yeah.
So we must have done like little bits here and
Yeah.
there. I always did like snippets of stuff. But yeah, there was one year in particular that I really remember, Timothy.
Why would you remember a particular year, Lauren?
Because
This is the end of our friendship.
I don't know if you remember this. And
Probably
this story
not.
I've been sitting on for so long.
Look at the glee in her face, Aaron. Look.
So first of all, I love that you've admitted that yes, you did wear a leotard.
I forgot about it, but yes,
we
no,
did,
I
and-
have worn a leotard. Hasn't everyone?
And I was also explaining to EP.
Don't lie, Aaron. Of course you have.
Well, I was explaining to Aaron that whenever I was doing the research and I was looking at the 1998 film, some of our costumes were so close to that film, you know. And my mum made a lot of
Yeah,
them.
kudos to the mums, like, and to your mum, like,
It was
for...
they were fab. There was one year you were very proud of your costume.
I was so proud. Can I explain? Is
No,
it the one
no.
that I'm thinking of?
Let me tell you. No, well, I can't. So you were so proud of it that for school that year,
I knew you were
just
going to bring this up, you cow.
you decided. So we were those that were not sporty were given roles,
Yeah.
and you could. We
Third
had to
year
have
must have
been.
been
It was third
second
year.
or third year.
It was third year. It was year 10. Okay, so we were 14, 15. And
Get on with the story, will you?
So I'm not sporty either. I think I was manager that year. I just had to wear my school uniform and, you know, manage people and make sure they got.
Boring. Wearing
Timothy
your
decided
uniform.
he would be the mascot.
No.
No.
Let
no.
me tell you.
No.
Let me tell you how it is. Because
No.
I was the mascot every year, Lauren.
I know.
Every year I was the mascot. Because there was always a colour.
Shh.
And I always had a costume to fit every single colour.
I know. But this year
Was black and white.
was black and white.
And I had a costume for black and white.
So you decided to go to school and
Dressed as a cat. In my leotard.
Timothy.
With my grey Tina Turner wig that we had put candle wax on to create 2 pointy ears.
Timothy, this image will stay with me until I
my
die.
wee tail hanging out my back.
And you came over to check that everything was okay because I was managing.
With my wee leg muffs and my wee
you-
hand warmers.
This was in Ward Park, our local park,
Yeah,
and you pranced off like a cat,
correct. Commitment to the cause.
the mascot. And I stood in disbelief. We were like, is he actually?
See, here's the thing, Lauren. In school, you were cool or you wanted to be cool. In school, I wasn't cool, nor was I ever presumed to be anywhere near the cool scale. So you just got to own it, and I bloody owned it.
You did.
Who's the we that we put candle wax in who's the we?
It's mum and dad.
Yeah, my mum made that costume.
And they didn't think it might not be a great idea to send a 14, 15-year-old into school with
I don't think there was any telling me, to be fair. Like,
No,
I
I think-
was the mascot. Every year I was the mascot. The year before I came in purple dungarees with a purple gingham check shirt.
That one was totally fine.
Purple dungarees and
No,
gingham,
that one was okay.
I wouldn't say totally.
The leotard
No, not totally.
didn't leave much to the imagination as you pranced around.
That's why they were all, like,
the
lining
gravel.
up. They were all lining up.
Listen, somebody got memories from it anyway.
Midnight.
Timothy, it is my...
In fact, I was raging they didn't let me have a song, to be fair.
It was
I was
my-
happy to open the ceremony. Like, I was happy to start the sports day with a wee show tune. I could have done a one-man Jellicle Ball.
Timothy, you did.
Jellicle songs for
Timothy,
Jellicle.
you did.
Did I? Yeah.
You did.
Good. Well done, me.
You were a cat and you were singing. It was
Longer applause, yeah. Longer, yeah.
You were. You didn't walk. You know, like some people here, I'm the mascot, and you were a cat from 9 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock. You were
Absolutely.
that cat.
Yep.
And it is my favourite memory of you.
Oh, thanks.
And whenever you agreed to do this podcast, I was like, yes, I can tell my story.
You have waited for a whole season to get that off. Does that mean this is
Timothy,
us? We're
I
not
will
doing this anymore?
Never, ever, ever forget that image of you. And me going, does he know that he's dressed like that? Not in stage school? Does he know that we're school? Is he okay? But you were as happy as Larry.
I was as happy as Larry. Listen,
and I was so proud of you.
At no point was ever going to be popular, so it didn't bother me.
You did become head boy, so you must be popular at some point.
Yeah, what do you think the turnaround was, Lauren?
The black and white leotard.
You should try dressing up as a cat.
And this is where I produce photographs. No, it's not.
You better not have a photograph. No, I think I was clued in enough to go, no photographs, please. You need to speak to my agent. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't one of my finest moments, I don't think.
So funny.
Like, you look back and you go, you idiot. Like, what were you thinking?
But I never will forget you did one of those leaps.
Shitty!
That's it. Into the air. I'll be back. And I was like, but you need to be over here. And you were like, I'll be back.
Lauren, on that day, they were like flies round, you know what. Let me tell you. Nobody was interested in who came first, second or third.
No, they weren't.
They were interested in the prancing cat. Doing laps.
And singing.
What did it sing? Jellicle Cats.
Yes. But I think at
so
one point
proud
as
of my,
well.
like,
No, I know.
What age would you have been?
You were
12?
14, 15.
Oh
no,
my
you were
God,
12. You were not 12. You were 14.
Okay, this is now like we're over the hour. I think we need to sign this off now, Lauren, for this week's podcast. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know what's really annoying though?
What?
I'm sitting here going, I'll get her back. Like, I will 100% get her back. But I can't think of any, apart from the time you didn't put your knickers on, but that doesn't link it. Like, when will I ever be able to tell that story?
We've also told that story.
We have, haven't we?
Yeah.
That is your defining moment, and it's been and gone.
Yeah.
Do you have any more stories like that for me?
No.
Okay.
I don't. Not that I can remember at this moment in time. No, I don't think so. That was my number one story of I cannot wait till we do cats.
Do you know what? If I could have still fit into the leotard, I'd have arrived in it tonight, to be fair.
But it made me laugh so much when a couple of episodes ago you said, I've never worn a leotard, and I was like, he can't remember.
Do you think
can't
there's
remember.
No, I can. There's just maybe certain moments in history you blank out. Yeah.
But you know what? I was so proud of you that day.
I was
because
proud
you
of
were
myself.
your true self.
My days were on point.
Cat.
And I think we did win Best House for Mascot. Did. Yeah, of course we did.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well done.
Thank you and good night. My work here is done. Like, that's why every year the form class turned to me and went, Tim, mascot, will you do my... No problem. What's the colour this year?
Well, they certainly weren't going to ask you to run 100 metres, were they?
Oh, right, okay. Because you were out there on the field running your 100 metres, were you?
What did I say? There's some of us that were sporty and some of us weren't whenever you weren't sporty. So I was manager.
She can run her mouth, all right.
She was boar bag in her school uniform on sports day.
Sorry, say that again.
She was a boar bag.
All right.
Is everybody ready for the 100 metres? Do we have all the runners?
Where's the mascot?
Boring.
He's off doing a one-man show.
I'm in the middle of the field going, and now I shall give you my Rum Tum Tugger. Followed by my Chrisabella the Glamour Cat.
Oh my god. My sides hurt so much. I'm not even sure if this episode's going to be listenable.
Oh, it certainly will.
Oh my goodness.
See, you should have dressed up as the white cat. See, a true friend would have dressed up in her cat's costume with me.
I wasn't the mascot.
You could have been.
No.
You just
I was the
wanted-
manager. It was very important.
Oh, you see, you were like that right from the beginning.
I know.
Manager, in charge. Yeah. I will do it. My way. Anyway, before you... What on earth was that? She's possessed.
Stop myself.
She's actually lost it. I think she's about to wet herself.
I was trying to stop myself from coughing.
I am so glad I bring you such joy. Until next week.
Bye.
I wonder what secrets you're going to bring out of the closet next week.
Oh, I can't wait.
Surely
Oh.
you have nothing left in me now.
There's more leotards coming.
You don't know what I've got on underneath this. Anyway, until next week.
Bye.